Trump and Republicans have accused Democrats of being socialists and communists. Will that stop? Should that stop?
Okay.
President who literally rolled out the red carpet for someone who's called the United States a global parasite.
Joe Biden is a Democrat. Is he a socialist?
I mean, he governed like one, that's for sure.
I want to hop into a CNN panel discussing all the chaos we've seen unfold this week, from the brutal Charlie Kirk shooting, international troubles, and economic woes. So strap in, leave us a like on the video if you can, helps us out a ton, gives us a boost in the algorithm, and let's get right to the discussion.
I asked him the pointed question about fascism. You know, Trump and Republicans have accused Democrats of being socialists and communists. Will that stop? Should that stop?
Okay. Socialism versus calling somebody a Nazi. There is a we have a guy running for mayor who is a socialist in this town.
Hold on a second. I asked him about the word fascist, okay? I'm asking you about the use of the language communist and socialist, which many Republicans use together. Now, some people are socialist, yes, but most Democrats are not, including some Democrats who have been called that. So should that stop too?
Generally speaking, I agree with you that the apocalyptic language should end. If you're talking
to no or a yes?
Well, I'm saying that if you're a socialist, you should be called a socialist.
But right, but Joe Biden. Joe Biden is a Democrat. Is he a socialist?
I mean, he governed like one, that's for sure.
I love how close this guy is to getting it. He said verbatim, if they're a socialist, they should be called a socialist. Okay, replace socialist with fascist. And I agree, as their position would hold that, well, we've done nothing wrong the last 9 years. We've done nothing fascistic or bigoted or anything. And Democrats are just calling us racist and fascist for no reason. And now people are obviously upset at us because of how the mean Democrats have depicted us, which is a convenient narrative that, of course, forgoes all the fascistic actions and rhetoric the right has adopted under Donald Trump, the bigoted policies and words, where I would say the media, Americans, all of us have an obligation, a moral duty to call these things out as they are when they happen, as to not allow the mistakes of the past to repeat. What these guys would have it doing instead would be to let racists get away with it, because if we call them racist, maybe they'll get shot. Maybe just tell the racists to stop being racist. I don't know. Like, as this guy is saying, if they didn't act like fascists, they wouldn't get called one. Case in point, have you ever heard Thomas Massie get called a fascist? Mitch McConnell get called a fascist? Mitt Romney? It's almost like it's just those on the right who do fascist things, who have fascistic behavior, getting called fascists.
Listen, this is a charged topic, but I think that the intellectual exercise of really going down the road of what it looks like to start saying, well, you can't use this language, you can't use that language. I think we actually have to go down that road at some point as a country to really understand what we're saying here. And if we're only going to apply those rules to one side, that doesn't work. You have to apply it throughout the political system, and nobody's wanting to do that yet. But at some point, we're going to have to do it. So it won't be resolved at this table today. But I think it's a thought for all of us to take with us as we go into this next week.
These are concessions as liberals I wish that we didn't have to make, but I do understand, obviously, in a sensitive time, talking about a sensitive topic, but it's just not comparable. Trump calls every Democratic criminal a fascist, a thug, a communist, which to the right is worse than a fascist. We're literally in one of the later videos today going to show 4 or 5 clips of him calling Kamala Harris a fascist, right? He said literally everything under the sun about Democrats with no merit or justification for those words. Case in point, this guy just said that Biden governed as a socialist, meaning MAGA literally does not know what socialism means, or they're that desperate to pretend that Trump calling people's name and disparaging them is accurate that they're willing to outright lie. You can't show how Democrats meet any of the 14 core tenets of fascism or how they were authoritarian, yet Donald Trump calls them both. When MAGA tries, you get hilarious examples like mask mandates somehow being fascism, but you can draw a one-to-one direct historical comparison with the right in this country to fascistic parties historically in the past, globally. I wish in the wake of these things, MAGA wouldn't try to use it as a reason to stop getting called out for their disgusting actions and behavior, and instead a reason to stop the disgusting actions and behavior.
This is a president who has a clear pattern of kowtowing and bending to leaders of other countries. You're a president who literally rolled out the red carpet for someone who's called the United States a global parasite. You have a president who has agreed with Netanyahu on a proposal to relocate an entire group of people out of where they are living in a place where there are more child amputees per capita than any other place in the world. So I don't know where people should look to see the president winning with any of these leaders. And that should concern all of us because America first should be the policy of this country.
This part is exceptionally funny to me as well, because as MAGA scrambles for any facet in which they can give Trump a win and then shift to pretend that that's the only area that matters, what they instead find him is failing in every key area he ran on. The economy's in the shitter, he's underperforming in migration, he's losing the American people and how he's carrying them out, and these conflicts are escalating under him globally that he promised to have done on day one. Russia, flying drones in Poland, Russia launching a historic record-level attack into Kiev. Poland has invoked Article 4 now because of Russia's actions. Israel striking in Qatar. I mean, truly nothing's going right for this failed administration, and sadly this country because of it. And I'm genuinely scared at the trajectory that this puts us on, especially as deranged MAGA voters now feel emboldened by the Kirk shooting, by the rhetoric from the right pretending that they have to kill us or they're gonna die or something, especially as they grow more desperate when their movement begins to lose power. It's scary to say the least.